Hello, everybody. Dear President of the AS, distinguished senators, public members, of course, faculty, students. I'm a professor here in UCSB in the music department. I'm also the president of the chapter called UCSB SPME, which is a Scholars for Peace in the Middle East. And I think as a member of the community and as a member of the academic faculty, first of all, I congratulate you on this academic and civil practice that you're going to engage in. This is very significant what you do here. And I think this is something that will take you from here to your next step as educators, as politicians, as reformers of the society. So we don't take it lightheartedly, the discussions and the deliberation that we're going to go through here. And I would like to respond to the previous speaker and to the item on the agenda tonight, which is about BDS. And this is the third year now that the resolution about divestment from Israel is brought before this distinguished forum. And as I mentioned, the group of faculty, it's a large group of faculty here, we find it extremely alarming that such situations keep arising at UCSD against all attempts to reunite the campus under principles of tolerance and moral justice. So as part of our action, we sent a letter to the President from over 40 Nobel laureates against the academic BDS actions, against boycotting Israeli academics, Israeli academic institutions, academic centers, and I would like to read you part of this letter. And this is what the Nobel laureates say. Believing that academic and cultural boycotts, divestment sections in the academy are, first, antithetical to the principles of academic and scientific freedom, second, antithetical to principles of freedom of expression and inquiry, and lastly, may well constitute discrimination by virtue of national origin. We, undersigned Nobel laureates, appeal to students, faculty, colleagues, and university officials to defeat and denounce calls and campaigns for boycotting the investment in sanctions against Israel. Academic institutions, and university centers and institutes for training and research affiliated with Israel. Furthermore, we encourage students, faculty, colleagues, and university officials to promote and provide opportunities for civil academic discourse where parties can engage in search for a solution to conflicts and problems.
Is the low cut on that?
Rather than...
Apparently my voice just sounds terrible. Hope to so.
May I continue? Okay, thank you. So, continuing, we encourage the students to search for a solution to conflicts and problems rather than serve as incubators for polemics, propaganda, incitement, and further misunderstanding and mistrust. We and many like us have dedicated ourselves to improving the human condition by doing an often difficult and elusive work to understand complex and seemingly unsolvable phenomena. We believe that universities should serve as an open, tolerant, and respectful, cooperative, and collaborative community engagement practices resolving complex problems. And
go ahead,
signed Sidney Altman from Yale University Nobel Prize in Chemistry, Roger Kornberg, Stanford University Prize in Chemistry, Kent Arrow, Stanford University Nobel Prize in Economics, Harold Crowell, Florida State University Nobel Prize in Chemistry, and so on. I don't want to take too much of your time reading 40 Nobel laureates' names who clearly oppose this type of action, which is strongly politicized. So if time permits, I would just like to mention what a big supporter of the BDS and Norman Finkelstein had to say about this exact movement very recently. Okay? So the ubiquitous non-Israeli activist Noel Finkelstein stood up, the blogosphere last week in his YouTube interview. Okay? He actually said, in a convincing way, which is very typical to him, that members of the BDS movement, which he apparently supported before, care less for human rights than they do for Israel's destruction.
Whoever's doing that, please stop.
Pull my up.
Just turn off the mic.
I don't think so.
We can't. It's not us.
It's downstairs.
It's downstairs with the general.
They're probably doing the best thing.
Turn the
Quiet, please.
So
you may continue.
Thank you. So this is what Norman Finkelstein said, and that's what he lectured his BDS colleagues. He said, stop trying to be so clever because you're only clever in your column. The moment you step out, you have to deal with Israeli propaganda. And the Israelis would say, no, they're not really talking about rights, they're talking about that they want to destroy Israel. And Finkelstein said, in fact, I think they're right. I think that's true. And in fact, Finkelstein said, this is not an accident, an unwitting omission that BDS doesn't mention Israel. They know it will split the movement because there is a large segment component of the movement that wants to eliminate Israel. And this is the word of a big supporter of the BDS movement. So I will just finish with one more quote from Richard Goldstein, the South American Jesuit. His country's transition from apartheid politics.
Move to extend time by 1 minute in light of the interruption.
Okay. And what he said is, while apartheid can have broader meaning, its use is meant to evoke the situation pre-1994 South Africa. It is unfair and inaccurate slander against Israel, calculated to retard rather than advance peace negotiations. So I'll just conclude by requesting and calling upon the AS President and UC leaders, student leaders, faculty leaders to voice strongly their opposition to this resolution and prevent it from happening, and encourage the concerned student organizations to withdraw their divestment resolution targeting Israel and look forward to more constructive ways to promote collaborative and peaceful dialogue. Thank you.